I wanted to see how far I could push AI in my real life, so I gave ChatGPT full control over my week. It controlled my daily schedule, work tasks, workouts, breaks, and even what to eat. I followed it strictly for 7 days, and here's what it got right, what it got wrong, and whether you should trust AI with your time. This is the exact prompt that I gave. Act as my productivity coach. I work from home, want to work 8 hours a day, I exercise daily, and want to build a YouTube channel on the side. Give me a detailed day-by-day plan for 1 week. And this is the structure that it came up with. Focus blocks in the morning, creative tasks in the afternoon, breaks, meals, and workouts all timed, and evening wind down and journaling. Day 1 started strong. I woke up and followed the plan exactly. So I worked from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I worked out after that and then had lunch, and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. was my creative work block. I did some cardio at 5 p.m. and my third work block was 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then 8 p.m. onwards before I slept was reading, journaling, and my plan for tomorrow. But I have to admit, this was way too optimized for me. It left absolutely no room for mental drag, real life delays, or mood dips. It sucks to admit it, but I was off schedule by about 5 or 6 p.m. And these are my notes for day 1. The plan works on paper, but you easily overestimate your consistency. Day 2, I tried to tweak it, and I got another structured and disciplined day. But this time by 4 p.m. I was exhausted. There was no built-in buffer time, no passive tasks, no social life, which to be fair I was lacking before this challenge. But there was also no room for creative slumps or interruptions. So for day 3, I changed the prompt. I said, make the plan realistic. Include flexible time blocks. Assume I'll have low focus by midweek. Keep workouts short on weekdays. And this time it gave me 90-minute work blocks, not 3-hour marathons. Breaks every 90 minutes. Creative time earlier in the day. And Friday is mostly open for review and rest and my lacking social life. Suddenly the schedule felt more doable. I followed it almost perfectly. Day 4 and 5 was almost a flow state for me. I just hit a rhythm. I got more done in less time. I had less guilt around breaks because they were built into my schedule. I had a clear structure and less decisions and less fatigue. Look up decision fatigue, it's a real thing. And I even scheduled review yesterday's work every morning, which made me course correct pretty early on in the day, making myself more productive. And this was the best I've ever felt in months when it comes to productivity. But the plan did fail in a few areas. Like for example, on day 3 I had unexpected errands, aka I ran out of dish soap, and the next day I'd slept in by accident, which means I hit snooze on my alarm one too many times. And then once I went off track, I had no system that rebalances the rest of the week. ChatGPT also underestimates how much time creative tasks take. Like writing a script takes more than 90 minutes if you're stuck and if you're bad at writing like me. But unless you're refeeding updated context, it falls apart on day 3 or 4. What it got right was task batching, which is grouping similar tasks to reduce switch costs, front-loading focused work, so harder stuff early in the day, including journaling, planning, and reflection blocks was a nice detail that I really liked because I wanted to get into journaling more. I liked that it put a structure around vague tasks like work on YouTube, which I'm guilty of. I write down only vague tasks. And the last thing that I really liked about this challenge was it had balanced energy across the entire week instead of going hard early in the first few days and then crashing like I do for every week. If I were to do this again, which I probably won't, if I were to, I'd feed it more of my personal data, like my peak focus hours, average task durations, and past schedule failures. I'd use ChatGPT daily, not weekly, and rebuild my day each morning based on what I did yesterday and how I feel today. And also, I'd pair it with a real-time tracker like Notion or Google Calendar and use it to change the plan dynamically. I realize that planning with AI is powerful, but only if you know how to use it right, like a co-pilot and not a dictator. Should you do it? Letting ChatGPT plan your week works, but only if you prompt it with detailed, realistic inputs. If you stay flexible and update the plan as real life happens, you use it as a guide and not a gospel. If you've never had a structure, it gives you a solid starting point. If you already plan obsessively, it can reduce the mental overhead and decision fatigue. And honestly, the key is only to learn how to prompt it well and building systems to course correct daily.